The Shining is a movie released in 1980, starring Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, and Danny Lloyd, and directed by Stanley Kubrick. Now, this movie is loosely based off the novel by Stephen King, but really not at all. What's happened is Stanley Kubrick has basically taken the source material, ripped that up, and just taken the basic locations and the characters and concept and made a story of his own, which, better for worse, you be the judge. So this movie centres around the Torrance family, where Jack is working as a caretaker at the Overlook Hotel during the winter months where there's nobody else in the hotel. He's just there to make sure that everything runs smoothly, that all the repairs are done before the season then starts and all the guests then start coming back. He relocates there to live there while he's doing that with his wife Wendy and their son Danny. Now, Danny has a gift which is called the Shining, which is a psychic ability to be able to see things that have happened in the past and could happen in the future as well. And it's essentially facilitated through his spirit guide, Tony. And what the first real sort of indication we have that there's something more to Danny than meets the eye is when he's essentially in the bathroom whilst Jack is being interviewed for the job, and Danny has a vision of the future where there's blood coming out of the elevator, there's him screaming, and other bits and pieces going on as well. And it turns out that that's a warning for their time at the Overlook Hotel, because unbeknownst to anybody else, the Overlook has quite a checkered history with regards to certain horrible things that have happened in the past. And as the chef sort of explains to Danny, it's a bit like burnt toast. Those things leave a mark on the hotel, and there's things that Danny can see as a result. Now, during this time, Jack is essentially manipulated by the spirits of the hotel to kill his family. And yeah, it's about Danny and Wendy trying to escape that fate, trying to prevent that from happening, and Jack's mission to ultimately do it and succumb to the wishes of the hotel. And it's all about that journey of the hotel sort of slowly taking control of Jack and slowly manipulating its way into his mind for him to then go along with the idea of killing his family. But some of the imagery in this is just really, really shocking. And the first time I watched this, the one thing that really did get me was the two girls, the twin girls in the corridor, who essentially sort of make themselves known to Danny and ask for him to come and play with them. But then there's images of flashing up between the girls standing side by side alive, and then flashes of them dead after being chopped up by an axe. That only gets worse. So what we see later on is Danny in a catatonic state, and we don't really understand why. We don't know what's happened. That's all happened off screen. But what we do find out through exposition is that Danny's gone into one of the hotel rooms, which is room 237. Room 217 in the books, room 237 in the movie. No idea what the sudden change is. There are some theories about it, but ultimately there is a change there. Jack decides to go and have a look around, and he sees a woman in the bathtub. She makes herself known to him. She gets up and they have a bit of a kiss, for him to then discover that actually she's a decomposing corpse. And that's apparently the bad thing that's happened in the hotel. And yeah, it is quite shocking. It's all practical effects, and you see the transformation suddenly turn, and it just makes your skin crawl. But the sound design in this as well, sort of some of the quite just harrowing one notes that hit the air quite sharp and really just bring home the like sense of menace that's going on in the background behind it all, and all of that just really does come together. And it is really, really cool, but really horrible at the same time. The pacing of this movie is brilliant because it is a slow burn, but with a purpose. It is a case of just documenting certain phases of their journey in the Overlook, with Jack with the interview, and then they're moving in whilst everyone else is moving out. So you get the idea of isolation in there. Their initial few days are quite nice and quite normal, but then it then starts to kick in where you realise actually it's Danny and Wendy on one side and Jack is completely isolated on his own. And that's part of the reason why the ghosts are able to influence him as much as they can, because it's just him on his own. And it does feed into that family dynamic, because you do get that sense that Jack is very much on his own, and it's Wendy and Danny on one side. And there are some previous instances that have taken place between or inside that family, which does explain why that dynamic does exist. But that just feeds more and more into the overall story. I really do enjoy this movie. It's one that I can keep coming back to again and again. The only disappointing part for me is being in the UK, I get one version of the movie, and I think anywhere else you get an extended version, which does have a lot more detail. I have seen it before, but I just cannot get it anywhere. And it does have like actually important extra information you do need to know going into this movie. But yeah, I really do like this, and for me, it's 4 stars. This movie is very much the tip of the iceberg when you like watch it. There is so much material packed into this, and Stanley Kubrick had a genius level intellect, and quite clearly had put quite a lot of his own ideas into this movie. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking out Room 237. It's a movie or a documentary pulling together all of the sort of fan theories about what this movie actually is about. It's so interesting to watch, and it's just incredible because not only do they make their point, but they evidence it with the bits that are actually in the movie and sort of clues that Stanley Kubrick has put in and they've interpreted to be part of their theory. It is a really sort of fascinating watch, so I highly recommend that as well. So that was my review of The Shining. What did you guys think about it? Have you guys seen it before? Whatever you guys thought, please pop it in the comment section below. As always, thank you very much for watching this video. I will be back again with another one, but in the meantime, you guys take it easy and I'll catch you on the next one.